I think the biggest thing beyond like the shits and gigs of it is my favorite feeling in the world is surprise. So if I can give myself the least amount of knowledge and I read something and I feel surprised genuinely, then I know I can like maybe even recreate that feeling for however long we do this.
Back to One with Peter Rinaldi.
Jordan Hull is an actor. She sat down with me on the Upper West Side of Manhattan to talk about the work.
Do you have a typical way that you like to begin your preparation process when you get a new character?
No, I do not. I mean, I had one time where I auditioned for a play and I never read the play. I just read the sides. And then I got the play and then I went to do it and we had our table read. And at the table read was my first time fully reading the play.
Amazing.
I was like, I do not connect with this either at any level.
Wow.
And for the next 3 months I had a run of this play. And I think I say that to say there are consequences with not having a process. For me, I love that. One of which, of course, is like, I really dislike reading plays. I hate reading scripts, unless it's out loud.
Wait, what is that? No one's ever really said that, but I kind of understand that and relate to it. But can you describe why? Do you like reading other things?
Yeah, I'm a huge like book reader.
Wow. Okay.
Like I love literary stuff.
Interesting.
But for the narrative or for, I don't know if it's just the format, but for me, I can't, it's daunting. It's very daunting, I guess. Yeah. When I read a book, I know what to expect and I've done it my whole life. But with like a play or a script, it usually has to have like some utility in some way, like I'm reading it for a purpose. Or when I try to like read scripts because, Get Out is the best script ever and here's the script and read it. Yeah. Like to me, I don't take it in the right way unless it's read out loud and with other people. I don't like the solo reading of it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Do you like reading scripts?
Well, when a script is good and it's flowing, and I'm thinking of one right now, I'm thinking of Tony Gilroy's Michael Clayton. Mm-hmm. That thing it's like art. There's an economy of words. And so when it's good and it flows, I love it. But it's rare. Mm-hmm. And when it's not, oh man, it really is the worst literature variety.
Totally.
It really is. So I get it. But I also get that like, because you're possibly going to do something, there's also this added tension to it or something as a document, as a blueprint.
Yeah, exactly. It made me think of like, in architecture, like looking at the site paper or something before. But I've tried all the things of like reading scripts as a director or reading it as a writer. But even still, that's still like, I'm in a writer's group right now and we have to read each other's scripts, but we always read it out loud. Like we're never interacting with it, just like reading it before. So yeah, I think it's like beyond just even like an actor thing. I just don't like.
That's interesting.
But I liked what you said about if it's really, really good, even reading it, you feel something. Yeah. I mean, even with the film with The Plan with Jess, I did not read it until we had the table, the same thing. Yeah. So I guess the process is like avoid homework at all costs.
And we're going to get to that. And that's going to be insane that you didn't read that. And we'll talk about why.
Yeah, exactly.
But then what do you do to try to get yourself into a character if the character is different than you are?
Yeah, I came up with teachers that I think you're talking about the actor studio. I came from the Young Actor Studio in North Hollywood. That's where all my friend Evan Klein, who are a little group that's a big fan of your podcast. Nice. We came from that, and taught all the Stanislavski and Strasberg and all that stuff. But as I go older, and relating with someone that's very different. I don't usually try to pull from personal experiences, nor do I try to live in the imaginary that much. I'm much rather in the like association sort of group. And I guess with the plan, with a character that's very different than me in terms of I don't necessarily have the courage to commit the level of, activism or terrorism, whatever you'd call it.
Yeah.
But I do have like certain thoughts and images that I try to just like write out in regards to reading the script and learning my lines. But honestly, it's not really thought through. Ryan Simpkins, she is phenomenal in the film as well, and she's very different as an actor. They are very much like, they want to know everything. They do so much research. And I would say I'm less that way in terms of I don't think very much. I resonate a lot with like the Olivia Colmans, who like didn't even know the Queen's birthday when she was playing the Queen in the Crown, and she's like, that just didn't really matter. And so like things that I don't think matter, I'll be the curator of my own experience that I want to have with this character. If experiences I don't think are important for the character to know, for me to know, I don't add that into my curation.
Yeah. That's
so it just kind of depends.
Yeah. I think I'm not a good actor because I think too much. And I think to get to an elevated level of acting requires not thinking.
Yeah.
Even the people that think a lot, they know enough to let it go.
Yeah, and their intelligence probably is like, they have probably great body intelligence.
Yes.
Like it concentrates in different ways.
Yes.
Of course, I'm not trying to, be like, I don't care. Like, there's research required, but I think for me, especially as a young actor, I thought to, get good at something, I have to learn everything I could possibly know and have a process, And like, it works until it doesn't, but also if it's working, you don't need it. So if you have a great writer or a great collaborator, I don't want to get too distracted with trying to have my thing.
Yeah, I get that. How did you get this desire to engage with this crazy art form? I
mean, I know the exact moment. I'm from Iowa, and I got into acting from going to the mall, and then there was like a kiosk for like agency called Barbizon, and I did it, and then went on a cruise, and that's how they had like cruise for actors and managers that you can audition to be on. Did that. Anyway, weird long story. So I'm in LA when I'm like 11, 12, and I joined the Young Actor Studio, and my teacher, Jeff Allen Lee, was giving I think we were doing like sense memory for the first time, and I was doing this play called like The Treehouse or something like that. I can't remember, but there's a character named Egg in it. Anyway, we're doing a thing where you have sense memory or whatever, and you have to like pretend that you're whatever. And it's like 13 or something doing it. And I remember I looked to this like wall, and now in retrospect, it sounds a little bit like psychosis, but like I felt like I saw like an owl. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
I'm not actually seeing an owl, but I have the feeling of which that I'm in a treehouse and I see an owl. And I think that to me was like the craziest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm not much of a sense memory person now, but at the time, just the combination of, that body intelligence relaxing and the not thinking, like I wasn't trying to, picture an owl.
Yeah.
It just, that was my association, and that came too. That really showed me the power of, really committing to something.
Right. So for you, is it like knowing that you can do it is enough and you don't need to do it?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time I just think about like time. Like, do I have time to do this? Mm-hmm. My biggest fear is to be an indulgent actor. I really hate that. And so, I guess knowing that you can, but for me, it never really, let's say, I felt that and I saw that owl. When I was doing that scene, that moment wasn't expressed because there was no moment for me to see the owl. So like there are sometimes if it's not, I like to be a very like reasonable actor.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I find sense memory to be very unreasonable.
I see what you're saying.
Service of the story.
Yeah. And also maybe not economical in a way, right?
Yeah.
I think when people have a criticism of it, it's like too much that adds up to little.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, but also people are much better at it than me. And so to each their own.
Yeah. Did you decide that you wanted to study this though? And did you go somewhere to do that?
I went to a bunch of acting classes, but I didn't go to like university or anything like that. I was doing the Young Actors Studio, and then I was doing studying under Zach Barnett, and then tried Cynthia Bain for a while, but really resonated with Zach Barnett. And then 2 years later, I got my first TV show and worked there until I was like 19. And then I treated that because like 4 years of like being on a TV set and like figuring out like, okay, so I don't have time to do like, a relaxation thing because, we have 10 minutes for a pickup. So I treated that as school. And then...
What was that like going right into something like that? Like, did you even know stuff like marks and everything?
No, that was my first like real gig.
Yeah.
And
so that really was like school.
Really was like school, and had the best mentors. Jennifer Beals was like instrumental in just learning everything about film and TV acting. And because I was the youngest one there, and you just had so many great teachers and actors it was on the L Word Generation Q. Yeah. So I had like Kate Menig, Leisha Haley, Rosie O'Donnell played my stepmother on one season. And then, Jennifer Beals was incredible. And then Jack Taboni is another actor that actually, while I was doing the plan, I was staying at Jack's house in Los Feliz. And that was like the groundwork that really helped me during that time.
Were you thinking like, as seasons go on, were you thinking, this is great, learning so much, but I want to be off doing something else?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, no. But yes, no. I think at the time I was not. I mean, now that that was like 4 years ago. Yeah. Now I understand. I wasn't aware of like how awesome it is to be a series regular on a show that young. Yeah. And the consistency of a job was not something I was thinking about. So like now, no, I was perfectly content. But at the time, I mean, I'm so obsessive over careers. I would say more so than process, I'm really obsessed with careers. Really obsessed with Timothy Chalamet got his big break when he was 21. Saoirse Ronan had her thing when she was whatever. And so at the time, I was really measuring up between all of the young actors that I loved, because I had the showrunner at the time say, there are only 3 ways to be an actor in this biz. One way is you break free and you're like a Connor Story, or you just have like a great breakthrough. The other way is like a lateral movement. So like you're one thing for a really long time, and then like you're like an Adam Driver, you're a Marine and really successful in that, and then you go to Juilliard and then you're Adam Driver. Or the last way is like a Coleman Domingo, where you're like a journeyman actor, or Jessie Buckley, who didn't get to university when she was 28. And then you put in your dues, like a Bryan Cranston, and then you have your moment when you're like 45. Yeah. And so I was 16 hearing that and being like, I'm going to be a journeyman actor. Like, so afraid. Yeah. But like none are wrong. And also, I mean, that's her experience, but that might not be the only 3 ways to be an actor. Right. But anyway, at the time, then I guess, when I was on the show, I was like, I need to get my next big thing. So during the 2nd season of the L Word, I got to play with Adam Sandler, Queen Latifah, in a film called Hustle. Right. And it was like, that year felt like I was 18, and then I did a play that I loved, which is called Poor Clare. And it was by Chiara Atik, directed by Lana Dietz. It was like the best ever. But you didn't know you liked it until you were doing it. Until I did it. That was my very, very, very first play. And so that Well, that was also crazy because I was on the set of Hustle, and then my good friend Troy, Leanne Johnson, was playing poor Clare. Then the pandemic happened. Then when they brought back the show, she was on a shoot. So they had 2 weeks before opening to fill in the new poor Clare. So I had 2 weeks to do this play. So I guess that kind of set a precedent of like, just hurry up, make a choice. You don't need to like read. Anyway.
Was that scary or was that thrilling?
I loved it. It was really thrilling. So it was like, that's like my dream, to like go from, I literally like got off the plane we shot in Philly for Hustle on a Saturday, and then that Sunday was the table read for poor Clare. So I like that. That's, of course, busyness does not mean success, but to me, I'm so gagged by capitalism. And so I always think that makes me successful. I hate to say it, but it's true.
Yeah.
That's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah.
And then, but anyway, so that year I had all these, big things going on, and having these generals with like Marvel and like all of these, general meetings that I thought, of course, will mean that I'm the next Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know, like, a general just means, you just get to say hi. So anyway, I got really high hopes after that year when I was like 18.
What was your approach then toward auditioning at this time?
I was thinking about this on the train because I was thinking about Elizabeth Olsen, and she was on a talk and she was saying actors that don't like auditioning need to love it. She didn't say it this way, I'm paraphrasing, but like, I really like auditioning because I have an unconditional, love for acting. And I remember when I heard that, I was like, grow up. Like, that's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can love anything, and not you can have the ideal of being unconditional or the principle of it.
Right.
But in practice, when I get an audition, though I love acting very much, I am waiting till the very last second until I have to do it. And I don't think that's good, but I think I always have like an avoidant hesitancy for whatever, for anything that I love. So anyway, with auditioning, no, I don't have a thing. I try to very hard. I try to, I had a teacher, Cynthia Bain, say like, spend 2 hours on a page each. And like that, I don't like, but it's tough because like for Hustle, when I got that, I didn't even remember auditioning for it. I just read it and I got it. And then there was a thing over the summer that I wanted more than anything. Oh yeah, it was The Comeback. And I loved that show more than anything. And, did everything I could, didn't even get a call back. Like, didn't even get like a good job. Not saying that could have just been because I wasn't right for it. Yeah. Of course. But after a while, I was like, correlation does not mean causation.
Right.
If it works, it works.
Right.
It's same to the process thing. Like,
right.
I always thought if I had a strict process with auditioning, it means I treat it transactionally. If I put in so much work into this, I will get a result. But art does not work that way for me. This could change in a year, but I crossed the river by feeling its stones. I have literally no idea how to get to point A to
I love that. And I don't think people should, I'm glad you said this, because all I want to do is make films, and I don't think I hate anything more. Yeah. I'm in absolute misery right now.
Yeah.
About to go into the film.
Something bad has happened to you.
Oh,
You're making a film.
I just can't wait to walk around without the weight of this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if somebody said, well, then you're not a filmmaker if you don't love it. I'm like, bro, I love it. I don't want to do anything else. Yeah. And they're like, those two things can be true.
Yes, of course.
Right? It can be. And I think if you're avoiding, when you heard that person say that, well, you have to be unconditional love acting. Well, there's a bunch of things around acting that aren't very fun. And one of them is being stared at by a person on a Zoom call that is not a sponge to what you have to drip out, and is not sponging that up. And that's not fun.
Yeah.
And that's not acting. That's like confronting the Philistines.
Yeah.
And so even when you're doing the work and you're lucky enough to be able to do it, you may be surrounded by all this attention from all this stuff all around you. And that doesn't make it fun. So it's like whoever gets to do acting in this pure way where it's everyone is loving it and and you're able to do it in the way you want to do it. It's so rare anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm glad you said that like that, because I think people need to hear it, where it's like you can love it and avoid it at the same time.
I mean, I completely agree. It makes me think of that article with Gabby Hoffman, another actress I love, where she was like, I love my job, but I don't like doing it very much. And it was like the headline for like Elle. I was like, yes. And then, like Sarah Paulson also said like, I love my job, but it's like my job is 10% of my job.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's another way of saying it. And exactly.
Yeah. I wonder what you think about this too, or if other actors have said anything about it. But somebody asked Scarlett Johansson early on in her career, like, do you want to be an actress or a movie star? When she was really young. And then she said, I want to be an actress. I don't remember the rest of the story, but now it's really funny because she's a movie star. Yes. And a wonderful actress. But like, I assume with the way the question was posed, like, and I think about that a lot, especially young actors, that I think my obsession with career trajectories is obviously because I have some fixation with this idea of a movie star, which requires 10% of the acting. Yeah. But the whole reason I got into it was for the acting. And there's so many great actors that I know that don't get the life that they want because they're not very interesting minded. Whatever. Yeah. And it's always just a weird tension between like, the integrity of an artist and then the health insurance of it all. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Does your team get you? Yes, and I can say that because I have friends right now who are with people that clearly don't. Yeah. So I know what it looks like. You know what that's like, yeah. But I don't fully know if I know what it looks like when it is like 100% I feel seen or whatever. Mm-hmm. I went to, a year ago, this event. It was called Tax Day. And they had, I can't believe I went to this, but they had venture capitalists from like, an ex-venture capitalist from BlackRock, and then like an artist, and then like an investigative journalist from Morning Brew. Wow. And the conversation was where capital meets culture and where they need one another. Mm-hmm. And it was a very interesting conversation, and they had their discourse or whatever, and then their questions for the audience. And then an audience member asked a question, who was an actor, and they said, I feel like the relationship between an entrepreneur and an angel investor is the same thing between an agent and an actor. They both need one another in a way. One is an innovator and generative, and then the other has money or has resources. Yep. And like, that's where capital meets culture. And it's very important that, the angel investor doesn't secretly wish they were the entrepreneur and like, goes over that person. And then same with the agent. They can't be too, but they have to like have some shared language. So with that in mind, I think I have shared language with my team, and they like pick up where I left off. But I did have a meeting with them, at the end of last year with all my spreadsheets and all that, whatever. And they were like, let us do that. Like, please stop. Also, these spreadsheets are incoherent. You clearly like don't even know what you're doing. Yeah. So I try to stay in my lane mostly, but That's funny. Yeah. That's funny. How did you get in Jessica Barr's orbit? I did a short film with Becca Stant, who directed it, and Jess wrote it. Oh. And then produced it. And then that was in 2024. What was that called? FML. And it was based on a story that was true to Jess, where like she lied and said that she got into NYU acting Tisch, and then didn't. And then the film just follows. That can't be a lie you can uphold. Like, that has to come out one way or another. Yeah. And then I became really good friends with her because I was like, someone so young was like, you know, grinding out films. And then, so yeah, that's how I became into her orbit. And then we became like genuine friends.
Cool. When did you first get wind of the plan?
I don't remember. I think like she probably told me about it.
And did you know you might be in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I mean, I always take things with a grain of salt, of course.
Yeah.
But I was excited. I was like, oh, I'm down. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Never asked what it was. Never asked.
That's your thing.
Like, that's my thing. Like just a vibe-based thing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I was doing anything. So, yeah. So I was like, sure, I'll do it. And then she kept asking for the like, Zooms and like emailing things. And I was like, she must be kind of serious about this. Like, she's still in my inbox. And then, yeah, and then I like I would skim over the like, oh my God, we're doing the plan. Like, here's this like, you know, 70s documentary about like the Seattle activists. And I was like, what is this movie about? Why is she sending me these things? Like, cool, Jess, like good to know. I like really had no idea.
And you certainly didn't watch it, right?
No, like I was like, why? Like I don't need to know about this right now.
Yeah.
Like the world's on fire.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, and then so we had that table read, and I really do think that was the first time reading the script.
Yeah.
Because I think the biggest thing beyond like the shits and gigs of it is my favorite feeling in the world is surprise. As a kid, I wanted nothing more to have a surprise party, but I couldn't. But that's my favorite feeling. So if I can, you know, give myself the least amount of knowledge and I read something and I feel surprised, genuinely, then I know I can like maybe even recreate that feeling for however long we do this. But anyway, so that's how the plan came about.
When did you know it was going to be one frickin' take?
I don't know. I think she mentioned it.
It wasn't like baked in from the beginning.
I think it was, but I didn't think about it. I hate my answers for these.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
But like, I was like, cool. It didn't. That really didn't like register, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember of a time where I was like, oh, one take movie.
Yeah.
I think probably until like rehearsal day when we had, where I noticed that, you know, Sarah, the DP, who's incredible, was like there the whole time. Yeah. And we had like all these camera rehearsals. And so then I was like, cool. I mean, the biggest thing I took away from like Jess's pitch was the improv of it. You know, she had a very beautiful script, but Jess is so non-precious about everything. So she was like, you know, I want just improv. And at the time, and still I do UCB, and improv is like my main gig. So I was like, oh my God, I love that. So it was more about that than the camera. So
wait. First I have to say this. I hate one-take movies. I fucking hate that. And when I heard that she, you know, Jessica is a big fan of the podcast, and so she's been in my orbit since the movie she acted in.
Yeah, Sophie Jones.
Yeah, she was amazing in that. Then she's amazing in the movie with Zachary Ray Sherman. Names are slipping out of my head. Why Can't I Make You Mine? I think it's called. She's only in the beginning. I think amazing in that. So then she's making, like you're saying, making all these movies. Then I heard about this one take. I was like, oh fuck, no, not a one take movie. It's so gimmicky. When I saw it though, I was like, this is the only one that works for me because the premise supports the tension. See, I don't like, because maybe it's because I'm a filmmaker, so I can't relax and watch a one take movie. I can't relax and watch like Adolescence. You know, one take.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone loved that. I was like, I'm just constantly stressed out as if I'm in the shot. Like I'm the next guy that's walking in the frame. Totally worried. Am I going to mess it up?
Yeah.
Like as it's happening, I'm like, hello, this is done. It's on your screen.
Yeah, but I get what you mean. That like it's a tightrope, and I think that like lends itself to, you know.
Exactly, and it works with the plan perfectly because of that. when you're there and you see the DPs around, you're like, oh my God, this is like one take. But then improv. Was actual improv done in the movie? Mm-hmm. That is bonkers.
Oh, really?
I have to watch it again now. Because the idea that every single thing isn't laid out exactly like it has to be.
I mean, so we did 3 takes of it. There's a first moment where me and Logan Miller like enter the house. Every time that's been improv, of like how we enter. Just had like something written. And then after we were doing it, she was like, I don't think that's funny. Can you just do something? So then every time we did it differently. And actually in the movie, we were improving so much, we skipped actually an important part. And so it made the movie be 5 minutes too early. And so at the end of the movie, Logan had to improv to stop Ryan from like leaving the house at one point and just vamp because we improved too hard and skipped a certain moment. But yeah, so we just like course corrected in the course of the take.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane because there's so many other things that could go wrong too with improv.
Yeah.
Or someone could just like go off or like talk over each other in this weird way that's just because you know you're nervous or whatever. It's like an hour into the movie and
people are just like
That's even more impressive now for everyone, and I didn't think it can get more impressive. So wait, did the improv actually make things less nerve-wracking? Do you know what I mean? Because you're not, you don't have to nail something and then this person nails something. You know what I mean? It sounds like it's loose. And therefore, did that loosen the nerves? Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think, like, I have a very nervous disposition. But when it came to this movie, I remember being like so, even now I'm talking about it, very nonchalant, which is not usually my vibe. But anyway, with the improv, with the one take, I think I was just very like, all right, we'll see. Like, they have the biggest budget in the world, but like, it'll be fine. I think because I had so much implicit trust in Jess and whatever, and all the other actors that I was like, I think it's just important for me to have fun.
Yeah.
And also the content itself is serious, but it's absurd. And so I think treating, I don't know. I just remember I'm like, the less that I try to think about it or try to make it something more important kind of ruins it. So with the improv, I thought it was very important to keep the, zaniness as an actor. Internally, I don't think it's a zany film at all. Right. But just as me, Jordan.
Right. Wouldn't you say then, just getting to know you in this conversation, it seems like something like this actually is right in your like wheelhouse in terms of like stopping yourself from thinking. You have to be in the moment.
Yeah.
And like you just have to do it. And it's like there's not this other stuff. Like go with the flow. And it constantly is happening. And that's your sweet spot, sounds like. Yeah.
Thank you, first of all. And then second of all, I think for actors, we don't have a lot of room to like express our artistry sometimes.
Yeah.
And the way that we can express it is through the conversation we have with our different films.
Yeah.
And like, I believe Cate Blanchett is the best ever, not only because of her craft, but the way that she's curated her own filmography. And so when it came to the plan or whatever, I was very much an intentional, like, where I'm at with my like craft or like my taste, this is totally it. I can loosely read the script. Come on. Come on. I'm in yesterday. So I don't know. I think and also I just think Jess is awesome. And then right after that, I did this film called Caity, which is like a few months after that. It's completely different and very very intentional. Not that this wasn't, but very like, you should really know what you're doing. So I try to intentionally like couple those two.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
When you go on to another film after this one take thing, was there like a little relief that like you don't have to keep the take going? I can't even imagine it. I can't imagine it.
Well, it also was great because like it was like a week of shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Like instant gratification was the plan to me. And then like we found out if we got into festivals like a few months after. Like it was just such a quick, everything was just expedited.
Yeah. On the day you basically have a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like in the credits under editor it says NA. So
I love that. You said that you appreciate actors doing a kind of a curation of their filmography. Mm-hmm. Are you at a point where you're starting to think about that for yourself?
I think about that all the time. First of all, I think maybe the way that I'm thinking about it is very toxic. Second of all, I've been thinking about that since I was like 13 years old. Not because even now, and probably for the next 10 years, like, I don't know, I will not have the privilege to be like, I want to work with Yorgos Lanthimos. I don't want to work with Spielberg. You know, that will not be my, hope, but I would work with Spielberg, but, but I think just like if you're an entrepreneur, I didn't think I'd be so capitalist with my phrasing right here, but like, I think it's talent, hard work, and vision. And I think having I've been having very clear 3-year plans, 5-year plans, 10-year plans since I was like 13. So yeah, I try to get very clear about if unfortunately as an actor, I am the product and I need to know and communicate what services I provide. You know, like if you're gonna have me a part of the film, what comes with me is all the films before it. Mm-hmm. And so I want to make sure that like, I'm going to meet the moment for, you know, the next film that I would really like to work on, because I've been preparing it for the last, 5 years. So yeah, that's why like right now I've been an actor that I love more than anything is Aubrey Plaza. And when she was my age, she got on a Herald team at UCB and then worked as an NBC page and then got discovered by Allison Jones and then met Judd Apatow and then did this. I now am on a Herald team at UCB. I worked as an NBC page for one day on Jimmy Fallon. I'm doing a play with Adam McKay in Edinburgh. And I've been telling my team incessantly of like, please, can I have I just auditioned for like this like Peacock show or whatever. I didn't get it. But like my dream is like, I want to get on a network television show, work on it for, 5 years, then marry my equivalent of a Jeff Baena, and then make all these wonderful indie films. Yeah. And then blah, 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 blah. I think there's a difference between being powerless over your career and choiceless over the career. Mm-hmm. I have no control over, if this Aubrey Plaza thing will happen. Another actress that I also love very much is Elizabeth Olsen. Mm-hmm. But anyway, with the curation thing, that's where I try to implement some choice as an actor, is like having that little plan and that spreadsheet or whatever. So just like if they're like, what's your elevator pitch? It's like, hi, I'm Jordan Hull. This is the actor that I am. And it changes all the time. So I try to keep it updated in my brain, not like an actual sheet. Yeah. But I don't know if that's a good way to think about it. I mean, I'm 22, like, this sounds very, like, early 20s thing. But, like, Marty Supreme, which is the worst possible thing to be considered right now. But,
I found a video when I was 23 complaining that I wasted my youth. You know how hard that was to see a couple years ago when I was, like, 49? That was hard.
Yeah, but I feel like that's also just such a classic 23-year-old thing. Yeah. I wonder what it is. Yeah, youth is wasted on the young. Yeah. But I try to be very aware of that too. Like right now, I would say my sphere of actors and the people that I'm with are, not that there's like steps or anything, but I think they're like 3 or 4 steps ahead. Just so I can like learn, you know, what worked and what didn't from where they're at. You know, I have a friend that right now who's, having their moment, and I'm seeing what's working and what's not, and how to maintain sanity and And I'm trying to, just keep tabs on, like, you know, new level, new devil, and like what to look out for and stuff like that.
Where are you, like, right now? And I mean, like, right now, when you walk out this door, is, like, every day a potential opportunity to advance?
Right now, my life is I work at a coffee shop. I usually perform at UCB 4 or 5 nights a week, or a different comedy venue theater. I have a theater company, and I'm trying, you know, always in readings and doing stuff as much as I can. And all of that is experience that I can, you know, to me, that is my creativity expressed. It's like and I try to be fully, you know, eyes wide open in all those experiences, because I think I'm huge into mindfulness and all that stuff. And I think living a mindful, I mean, Zadie Smith said when she was really young, she always thought like good living meant good artistry or good art. And now she's older, she doesn't believe that. But I still believe that. Like good living means you're a good artist. And because when you're good living, you're preparing a readiness for when the moment comes to express your art, I think.
Yes.
But also with the thing of advancing, I do not want to be working at a coffee shop forever. What's sort of like, you know, my thing is that like I got a taste of what it's like to, you know, make a ton of money and do what you like way early on. I was like 18. And then, you know, that fall from grace was such a gift, because then I got to learn, I got to be like, I really want to advance, and I really want to be not wasting any time and not sacrificing anything or whatever. But right now I'm deciding whether to move to Berlin for school. And my big plight is like, at 22, I go to school for a 3-year program. I come back, I'm 25. I now have a huge wealth of experience, or I stay here and keep doing what I'm doing and not like miss a moment, you know, that you could have. So actually, I do feel like those are the two things butting heads. My need for advancement quickly, like right now, and then, you know, I could probably grow my artistic point of view in Berlin by the artists that I meet. So I don't know.
Isn't it great to not know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Jordan Hall, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening. Subscribe at backtooonepodcast.substack.com, where you can listen to back episodes, engage with other listeners, and support the show.